La 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 la.
What are you doing?
I'm avoiding office politics.
Is it working?
Not really, but I don't really know what else to do. Seems ridiculous, right? But ignoring and avoiding office politics is a strategy that 90% of professionals use, even though it's as effective as wearing your highest heels for a 100-meter sprint. But there is a reason why you avoid office politics more than looking at your credit card statement after holidays. And only one way you can actually escape the dirty office politics that bring drama, stress, and career stagnation into your life. But before we talk about that, we have to talk about what happens when you ignore office politics. If the world were a logical place, it would be like playing chess with friends. If you decided you didn't want to play, you simply would not be playing. But according to game theory, anytime that we have two players, which in real life are people, we have ourselves a game. Which in relation to office politics means if you refuse to play the game, your opponent is the only one moving pieces about the board. Your refusal to move any pieces on the board doesn't mean that the game ceases to exist. It just guarantees the outcome that your opponent will win and you will lose, no matter how many missteps they make along the way. In the work world, this shows up as them taking credit for your work, sabotaging your work, and starting toxic office gossip. Each time you're left in reaction mode, scrambling to save your reputation and get the credit for your work that you deserve. Oftentimes, it is extremely unfair. Your opponent snatches credit with ease, all while you are being held to impossible to achieve and unequal standards. This also puts you into the position that when you are finally forced to play their game, things have gotten so out of control and the odds are stacked against you, so there is almost no path to your success in the situation. Saving your reputation when it has been destroyed is not a great place to start playing office politics. And it's because you've been in these nasty situations trying to save yourself that office politics seems so complicated. Your experience with what is labeled as office politics is you trying to build a lifeboat when you're already underwater. To add insult to injury in this entire situation, you are also going to be targeted by the nastiest office politics because your refusal to engage with office politics has made you an easy target. The opposing player, i.e. your toxic coworker, knows that when they target you, you're going to do your best not to engage with them, which is a guaranteed win for them. You know the costs. You know how dirty office politics can be. You have been in the no-win situation where you are targeted by a coworker who not only seems to get away with their dodgy politics, no one seems to notice them. When you try to navigate out of the situation, you realize how entrapped in the office politics you've become because you found yourself in a constructed situation where your coworker can get away with everything. This is why when I say office politics, not only do you have a crystal clear picture of what that is in your head, you're willing to sacrifice success and opportunities to have nothing to do with it. You have integrity and you are not willing to push anyone down in order to climb up, which is exactly the way that it should be. But that's also why it's so important for us to call out that office politics don't need to be unethical, dirty, or complicated. In fact, you are already engaging in office politics in positive ways. You have done a favor to help a coworker meet a deadline. You've intentionally tried to make a good impression on your new boss. You've gotten buy-in to solve a problem or for a great idea at work. All of these things involve corporate politics. However, it's typically the nasty things that we slap that office politics label on. Ultimately, corporate politics are human interactions to establish relationships, reputation, and influence. None of these things are inherently bad or dirty, and you get to choose your approach to establish each of these three things. Which brings us to the belief that corporate politics are complicated, which I get because human interactions, which are corporate politics, never came naturally to me. But once I saw how important they were, I did exactly what I do. I researched, I observed, I tested, and that's how I discovered the 7 power moves to help you create win-win situations at work, because win-win situations are always our vibe. These power moves are the exact ones that I use to go from an entry-level role to an executive level role in just 3 years. Which brings me to the sponsor of this video, me. These moves are so powerful and so transformative that I put together a new workshop called Power Moves Mastery. In it, you are going to learn the 7 power moves to slay at work, and you are going to create a tactical plan to implement them into your work, so there is no mystery and no mistakes at the end of it. I even have a special promo code for my career besties here. Check the description for that and then go to Power Moves Mastery to enroll. Of course, I'm not going to leave you hanging until the workshop. You need to play the game to escape the BS and de-dramify your life starting now. So go watch this video right now to learn 5 rules to win office politics.